Hello, my name is Dar Romero. I'm an attorney here in Tempe, Arizona, and I practice immigration and personal injury. So this video is to talk about a recent case that just came out on October 25th, 2019 from the Attorney General, clarifying what the Board of Immigration Appeals decision, which establishes a new rule when it comes to DUI convictions and whether a person qualifies for cancellation removal, which is a relief in front of an immigration judge. So basically, what is cancellation or removal? So if you have any client that does not have legal status in the United States, let's say they've been here for 10 years or more, they have a spouse, child, or parent who's a citizen or resident, they qualify for cancellation or removal. Now, if the person has disqualifying crimes or they lack good moral character, that's an issue. And what the new decision that came out targets what the good moral character portion of the relief is. So let's talk about good moral character. First of all, a good moral character is not clearly defined, but the Attorney General makes a few definitions in his decision, and those are the general accepted moral conventions of the community, a pattern of behavior that is consistent with the community's current ethical standards and that shows an absence of deceit or moral reprehensible conduct. So the way this decision comes out, they look at whether drinking and driving is an act of lacks good moral character. So this is the case of matter Castillo-Perez that came out on October 25th, 2019, issued by the Attorney General. So this case establishes what the Board of Immigration Appeals can do, and that applies to the lower cases below that. So the reasoning is that evidence of 2 DUI convictions within the 10 years of the cancellation and removal disqualifies a person from cancellation or removal. So it establishes a presumption that the person doesn't have good moral character. Here the Attorney General doesn't make a hardline rule. He says that there can be strong evidence to overcome that presumption, but towards the end he says that rehabilitation is not enough. So we're not clear as to what more we can show apart from rehabilitation in order to overcome that presumption. But this is very, very important because this disqualifies a person from cancellation of removal, which now, if you're a defense attorney, criminal defense attorney, you have to be very cautious as to how you approach cases relating to DUI, especially if this is their second or third or fourth DUI. So you have to know the difference between how you give clients immigration consequences. There's the Padilla v. Kentucky case when removal is certain, you must also give your advice as a certainty. So for example, if we know that if this person pleads to 2 DUIs within the last 10 years, that it will disqualify them for cancellation or removal. So the proper advice will be this will disqualify you. Or if it's unclear whether or not something has immigration consequences, that's when the court has says that the may have is appropriate. And also the Ninth Circuit issued a decision a few years ago in Rodriguez-Vega that talks about even if the court or the plea says that by accepting such plea this may have immigration consequences, that's still not enough when the immigration consequences are known. So I think it's a little unfair for defense attorneys to have this burden that they have to properly advise clients. So my recommendation is to have in writing that you cannot advise clients when it comes to immigration consequences, and that is their responsibility to make sure that they get the proper advice before accepting a plea. Have that in writing because many times it happens verbally, and what happens is that clients, when they're pushed against the wall, they push back and they throw everybody under the bus. This is the way that you can protect yourself, that you gave them the proper advice, or you told them that you're not able to give them that advice, and then it is their responsibility to make sure they seek that advice from an immigration attorney. If you have any questions, you can always call me or shoot me an email. That's probably the best, and I'll put my email in the description below. Thank you and have a nice day.